Finally,
Cam Johnson
has come back to
the Phoenix Suns. Finally, the moment Suns fans have been waiting for has arrived. Well, one of the moments. Of course, the most important missing piece of the Phoenix Suns remains out, but even longer awaited has been the return of arguably Phoenix's favorite Sun, Cameron Johnson. Welcome back to Suns Valley Podcast. Please hit that like button for me. It really helps the channel out. And tell me in the comments below, how much of an impact do you think Cameron Johnson's return will have on the Phoenix Suns during this turbulent season? Now, before his injury, Cam Johnson was averaging 13 points per game on 43% from the three as the starting power forward. Not a bad replacement for what Jay Crowder was giving you. He had just balled out, giving you an absolute virtuoso performance versus the Timberwolves, scoring 29 points on 7 for 11 from three, only to end up injured the next game 5 minutes in versus Portland. We were streaming with Blazers Uprise. It was not the time, and it is unfortunate, but Cam Johnson is no stranger to injuries. In 2015, playing for the Pittsburgh Panthers, he needed shoulder surgery. In 2017, he required meniscus surgery on his other knee, his left knee, missing a little bit over a month for North Carolina. Not as bad as the 2 months he missed here. But I'm sure the Suns were just taking the safe route with him, and I'm glad they did. We don't need to rush anyone back from injury before they're ready. Right, Monty? In 2018, he had hip surgery while he was still with North Carolina. And in retrospect, I've been thinking about it. Perhaps these injuries and surgeries while he was in college, maybe that's the real reason why Coby White seemed almost disrespectful during the draft, during his interview. When they told him that Cam Johnson was drafted in the lottery, he was beside himself. It was almost like he was mocking Cam, like he just couldn't fathom Cam Johnson being drafted so high. But really, I think it might have been he was just happy for him genuinely because of all these surgeries and all the hard work that he had seen Cam Johnson have to go through to bring himself back from injury and then to get drafted in the lottery. I'm starting to see that interview in a different light. And then, of course, as we all know, November 4th was when he got injured and he spent 2 months out for us. Now he's back. One thing I've noticed with Cam Johnson with his injuries is that he has terrible ring rust when he comes back. He looks like he hasn't played in years when he comes back. I'm interested to see if that's going to be the case again. It would be so cool if he just came back and he was ready and he was just hitting threes, moving around the court just great right off the bat, but I don't see that happening. I imagine it's going to take him a little while to work himself back into the skill set that he is capable of, the full skill set. But then as soon as he does get that ring rust off, at least the last couple of times as this happened, like versus the New York Knicks, that game where he got into it with Julius Randle. A big reason why most Suns fans, in my opinion, don't want Julius Randle on the Suns at any given point, no matter how well he's doing. I think they just don't like him because of his interaction with Cam Johnson. But that game, he goes off, hits that game winner from half court, off the glass, injured. Sorry, can't play anymore. Then this time, goes off on the Timberwolves, looks incredible. 77% from three, if I'm not mistaken. Next game, 5 minutes in, injured. I hate to even talk about it or put it out there in the universe, but it remains true. He's got this like Chris Paul type mini curse surrounding him with injury, and I'm just so hopeful that he's able to put that behind him and have that just be a thing of the past. I just want him to have a healthy career no matter where he plays, and I personally hope it's always with Phoenix. Either way, I don't want to see this guy hurt again. I don't think anyone does. That doesn't make me special. It's just I'm sick of seeing him go out with injuries. Suns are obviously super excited to have Cam Johnson back. All the fans are. The Suns have been devastated by injuries this year, and Cam will be a sight for sore eyes. The Suns have to turn things around quickly. They are in 12th place in the Western Conference. They're back at the bottom. There is definitely still time for the Suns to achieve all of their goals, but it starts now. And it starts with the return of Cam Johnson. Chris Paul might be back as well very soon, if not the same game. These guys need to play some serious defense. Everybody included needs to play some serious defense as our guys are coming back, because the Suns need to start winning games now. Now, sooner or later, Cam is going to go back to the starting lineup. He might start his first game back, but I could see Monty easing him back in off of the bench, getting him warmed up a little bit, and then we're going to see him back in the starting lineup. That's going to push Torrey Craig back to the bench. I know that's not the greatest upgrade, but as players keep coming back, it's going to keep pushing current starters back to the bench, reinforcing and making our bench stronger. And God knows it has to get stronger. It is so weak. There are a couple of really interesting storylines with Cam Johnson going on right now. The Suns are facing another restricted free agency situation just like they did with DeAndre Ayton. And we all saw how he almost slipped away to the Pacers. Cam turned down a reported 4-year extension worth about little over 17 million per year. And we see this a lot in sports. Players bet on themselves. Lamar Jackson in football this last year, betting on himself, not coming back from an injury because he doesn't want to ruin his future earnings. Cam is coming back. How is he going to affect his future earnings? He's playing for a contract. He's playing in a year where he gambled on himself to get a bigger bag than 17 mil. And are the Suns even going to want to pay that, considering all of the injuries? Tell me in the comments if you think he's still worth a bigger bag than 17 mil a year. The other thing is the trade deadline is coming up. Early February, close to mid-February. He's likely going to have suitors. Teams are going to be coming after Cam Johnson. There's rumors of several teams being interested in him. He's very valuable. He's very desirable. He's one of the few desirable, truly desirable players that we have that we can use to get something better if we choose to try to upgrade, which I think James Jones will. I mean, let's put it this way. It's probably either him or Mikal if you want to upgrade. And like I said, the Suns might not want to pay him a bigger bag than 17 mil a year. And this isn't going off of anything specific. I don't believe that that's necessarily true. I'm just speculating all the possibilities here. So yeah, I just can't wait to see how his play on the court affects his long-term status with this team, or affects what the Suns are able to turn him for if they decide to trade him, including with Crowder. You know, who knows what's gonna happen with that. And the other question is he going to be able to ball out enough if he does stay with the Suns to help us get to the playoffs? It's not all on him, of course. He's a piece. He's not the main piece. But the playoffs for the Suns, the playoffs are not guaranteed. I don't know if that's sunk in for everyone yet, but it's not guaranteed. Tell me what you think in the comments. Hit that like button. Until next time, go Suns.